Good morning. It's Mazzy, and I'm getting a little glare there, right? Okay. We're going to go in the record room here. Whack-a-mole number 8. I think most people get up and go to the gym in the morning, but I think what I'm going to do, since I get up early and work at home, is maybe just once in a while do these whack-a-mole things. Let me position the camera here if it doesn't fall. Mac, playing Sidney Bechet, jazzy in the background there. Anyway, my hometown. Whack-a-mole number 8. I pick 5 random records, talk about them, showcase them. If I know anything about them, if I don't, I'll just make it up. All right. A psychedelic masterpiece, Bee Gees' first. Not the disco period, not any of that. Most of you oldsters and psych fans know this. One of the luscious, most beautiful albums out there ever made. From these British expatriates who grew up in Australia and came back to England to make a great record. God, I remember this record, 1967. The single Holidays, I think my first introduction to them, and then I went back and I heard New York Mining Disaster, which I think was a single prior to that, but Holiday sold me in. And this still, to this day, is one of my all-time favorite albums. One of my favorite songs in here is called Please Read Me, and if you don't know it, you just seek out the amazing cover version by Nina Simone. Anyway, the Bee Gees' first, 1967. Why do I always pick Randy Newman? Because he's one of my favorites. But again, it's random. Random Newman. God, Short People. You know that. Kind of a novelty song. But Riders in the Rain, Baltimore. Anyway, if you... One of the great American songwriters. I've said that before. I'll say it again. The Who, live at the Fillmore, 1968, 51 years ago. We know these guys. Great record. Not as powerful or as great as the Live at Leeds album, but pretty great. This just came out for the first time. And Jesus Christ, side 3, both sides, is My Generation, which is about, 32 minutes long. But, you know, at their peak, I saw them... My first time, I went to the Fillmore West, and in San Francisco, Bill Graham had the Fillmore Auditorium, which was on Geary, Fillmore and Geary, and then it was next to a synagogue that my grandmother belonged to, and I think the rabbi used to, I think in one of the books, there was a quote of the rabbi said, your kids are urinating on mine holy walls. Because the kids were being lined, they'd piss in the front of the synagogue. It was literally right next door to the Fillmore. The neighborhood got a little sketchy, and Bill Graham closed the Fillmore, reopened at what was the Carousel Ballroom on Market and Van Ness in San Francisco. It was above an auto dealership, Waters Buick. I remember that because my parents bought a car from Waters Buick. Not sure if it was Waters at the time, and then years later it was a Honda dealership. But upstairs was a Fillmore West, and my first show at the Fillmore West was The Who performing the entire Tommy, right, soon after it came out, and obviously other songs. But it was fucking awesome. I think I was 14 years old or something, and you could be all ages to go to the Fillmore West or the Fillmore. And opening up was it the, I think it was not the Don Ellis Big Band or one of those old-time big bands opened up for The Who. That was great about that's one thing that was really wonderful about the Fillmore and Bill Graham, how he mixed things up. Obviously, this is from the Fillmore East in New York. I never went to the Fillmore East, but it was probably a great bill, and I'm sure some of you aficionados would be able to post here who was on the bill that night. I'm sure I can look it up because I have the Google. Okay, two more. Whack-a-mole. Ah. Okay. Moses Sumney. Moses Sumney. This album came out last year or the year before. It's one of the most beautiful records I've heard in years. This guy has this golden voice, soulful, electronica based. Look at that. A romanticism. That's the name of the album. I'm sorry, but this is a gorgeous record. His vocals are fucking amazing. Look at that. Beautiful photography, and I should know because I'm, you know me, I like to post the names of the photographers on this, but I highly recommend it. It's one of the most beautiful records that's come out. It's magical, it's spiritual, emotional, very moody, very ambient, but just gorgeous, gorgeous vocals, and someone you should seek out. There you go. Look at this beautiful photography book that comes with it. I mean, I'm talking. Okay, come on, we're taking the time. I'm giving you the. If something is this wonderful, Eric Giamfi, I don't know him, photographer, who and all the songs are written and produced by Moses Sumney too, but that's him. I mean, look at Jesus Christ! I paid for this photo book just for the book. I mean, because I love this photography. So I'm going to indulge myself and just show you almost every spread. But a gorgeous record. I recommend it to you all. Anyway, Moses Sumney and Whack-a-Mole number 4. And my last Whack-a-Mole pick of the day is... I did a whole... It's not rigged. Warren Zevon. My favorite Warren Zevon record. If you've been following my posts, my videos, you saw the whole episode on Warren Zevon. I love this guy. And this is one of my, and probably in my top 25, take out the Beatles and a few things like that, of all-time albums, at least in the top 50. Desperados, Under the Eve, French Inhaler, Poor Poor Pitiful Me. God, Hasten Down the Wind, you know, Linda Ronstadt covered that, but a great record. So I'm kind of repeating myself. It's interesting, with all these 6,000 albums, I kind of gravitate back just by spiritual hand, brain, grab motion to the music I love. Anyway, that's Mazzy's Whack-a-Mole for today. I'm doing these every once in a while when I'm in the mood, and maybe it'll be my workout in the morning. And if you get tired, you can skip it. Otherwise, subscribe, make comments. If you have any other suggestions, someone suggested I do a CD Whack-a-Mole in my CD room, but I think that's kind of not the purpose of. I know I went out of the vinyl spectrum and doing the CDs. I did a Beatle one in my Beatles shelf, and I should do a live one, but I have no idea how many people would do live. I'd love, again, to do a live Whack-a-Mole where I read, tell me which cube to go to, and then talk about it and have a back and forth. Maybe if I have more subscribers someday, I'll do that. But for now, this is it. Anyway, as Warren Zevon says at the end of this album, or actually at the end of French Inhaler on side 1, he says... She said, "So long, Norman, so long, Norman. Mazzy out."